Hi, this is Vicki, and welcome to another episode of the Profit Builder blog. These blog posts are all about helping you grow, thrive, and prosper in your business and in your life. And this week's topic has to do with hiring people. Everybody I talk to these days is really struggling with finding, recruiting, and hiring good people to their team. It's difficult to find people. And one of the things that I've discovered is that if we can start to think outside of the 9 dots about how we traditionally have looked for employees, it can really help. And I developed a course not very long ago called the Manager's Hiring Toolkit. And one of the pieces of that course is how to find and recruit great people to your team. So I thought what I would do is pull that piece out of the course and actually share with you the video that I recorded specifically around this topic in hopes that it would help you in your recruiting and finding more people these days. So I'm going to go ahead and play that video. And then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit at the end, because I will share with you a resource that will help you actually implement what you're learning in the video. Hello, welcome back to the Manager's Hiring Toolkit. In this training session, we're going to be talking about where to find and recruit great candidates for your open positions. In this training session, there are basically 7 ways that we're going to talk about how do you promote, how do you find, how do you do outreach for finding the perfect candidates to fill your jobs. And one of the first ways that is just a good practice to have in place so that there's always something actively out there about you and your company and open positions is to make sure that you post your open positions on your website. It's pretty simple. Have something up on your menu bar that says join our team, and within there have a list of what are the open positions that you have, a little brief description about what it's about, what somebody needs to do in order to apply for that, with very specific instructions of send a resume. If it's an application, have your application available to download. Also, you'll find that having it on your website becomes a support for some of the other ways that we're going to talk about when it comes to recruiting and finding candidates. So step number 2 would be tell all of your employees. Employee referrals is one of the best ways to add great people to your team. My clients have been hugely successful in finding great people by asking their team to tell other people that they know about any open positions. They're going to be more inclined to want to tell their friends and tell people that they like and that they trust and who they think are hard workers, so they really can be your greatest advocates. And you want to make it really simple for them by letting them know and reminding them often about what are the positions that are open, and then what are you looking for in terms of a candidate, and then reminding them at least once a week, hey, here's the open positions that we have. Do you know of anybody? Tell your friends. One of the things that can really help when you're using employees to help find people is to have a referral program in place where you're compensating them anywhere. I have some clients that pay like $300 for a referral for a hire, and some people all the way up to $1,000. They pay their employee when they find somebody that's a good candidate that you've actually hired. Now, sometimes they'll do it in like 2 phases where they'll say, let's say it's a $500 referral fee. They'll say, well, we'll give you $300 when that person's hired, and we'll give you another $200 after 90 days. It's a great way to incentivize them also, because they get a little bit of a little extra stipend there for being a good referral source for you in finding good candidates. And again, just my other reminder about this is remind them often about it. Oh, and one of my clients actually gives people business cards that they can hand out to people. And it might be that they even hand it out to other subs on a site or people that they run into, so that there's a card that says, hey, this is a great company to work for, contact us here, so that you can make it super simple and super easy for your employees to be able to tell other people about you and how to go apply. And those instructions you would want to have directly on that card. The next place that you're going to want to look is do outreach to everybody that you know. You want to tell everybody that you have a position opening at whatever level. So whether that's your associates or your family, your friends, your neighbors, suppliers. You want to let everybody you know that, hey, I've got this position open, and ask for referrals. Now, when you send emails to people, you want to give them that job description that I referenced in the 9 steps to hiring the right person for the job. I would also recommend that within the body of that email, you include a brief summary of what it is, the kind of person that you're looking for, what that person specifically needs to do if they're interested, like send a resume, fill out an application. If it's an entry level, it might be an application. Have that application be attached to your email, and make it super easy for the person who you're asking for the referral. Just say in the email exactly what you want them to do. If you know anybody who's good for this position, would you please just forward it to them? The instructions are right in here about exactly what they need to do if they want to apply. If you send something to your suppliers, same thing, make it super easy. Some suppliers will actually let you post for jobs within their stores, so that might be another way. You want to tell anybody who maybe is in another position that might know people like that, like your CPA might know if it's a bookkeeping position, might be a good resource for that. Or if it's for marketing, it might be somebody who's been helping you with your website. So look at where there's connections with people that you know who might know people who do that job directly. As you know, when it comes to doing work and getting work, that referrals are golden. The same thing is true for getting employees and finding great candidates. Another great place for finding good candidates can be vocational schools in colleges. In our area, we have Sonoma State University as well as Berkeley University. Both of those colleges have project management programs. And I have on occasion reached out to some of the professors at those universities and asked if they had candidates who were interested in junior project manager positions or project coordinator positions, and have ended up connecting people with those professors who then eventually got people into positions at entry level. So that can be a really great resource for finding people at a junior level who maybe you don't need them to have a high degree of experience, and you want to have them with some education behind them around that. That can be also a very useful place. The other place that we have found here near us that's been good is there's a high school that has something called the Regional Occupation Program, ROP program. And they train high school students in the trades. They train them in plumbing, carpentry, electrical, framing, and they actually build out a little building. Well, what's really nice is that they have kids who are coming out of high school, don't necessarily want to go into college, but would love an opportunity to get an entry-level position in the trades. So you may have something like that near you that you might be able to go check out and see if there's possibly people at entry level who can come and work on your team from there also. The other thing that is nice about either of those programs with the colleges and the universities and even this high school is that those professors are oftentimes looking for somebody who to come in and be a guest speaker or to come in and sponsor an event. And that might be a great way for you to make a connection with those people and find out if it's a right fit. You might just check that out and see if that might be a good opportunity for you to add somebody to your team as well. The next place that can be a great resource for finding candidates is associations related to your industry. And I'm talking about like trade associations or just associations where people who do your type of work would hang out. Like I'm on the board of the National Association of the Remodelers Industry, or there's the National Kitchen and Bath Association, or American Society of Interior Designers, or anything that's related to your industry. I would encourage you to attend those meetings and make those connections with people. Again, it's how do you make direct connections with people and get people who are in your sphere of the work that you do, who know people who do the work that you're looking for people to do, who can possibly connect you with other people. It's also a great way to sometimes just find people who are transitioning in their job, or somebody who is a student, because a lot of those associations have students who are participating in the association. Sometimes you can find a student who's looking to transition from their school to a full-time position. I have a client who ended up finding two really great designers in exactly that way, and they ended up being on his team for quite a long time and growing into being great assets to their team. So the next resource that is available to you is going to headhunters or placement agencies. And headhunters, of course, come with a fee. So everything we've talked about so far is pretty much at no cost to you, other than your time and energy to recruit and find good candidates, although you would be paying a fee to your employees, but it's a smaller fee. When it comes to headhunters or placement agencies, you're generally going to pay a fee of anywhere between 20 and 35%, depending on the position, where you are in the country. And that's obviously a more expensive investment. But when it comes to more senior positions in your company, that can be a very wise investment of your time and money, because headhunters generally have an arsenal of candidates available to them because they're always doing that, and a much larger arsenal of candidates than you would. And usually they're people that they've already vetted and people that they know who are able to do the job that you're looking for. And you basically now, when you hire a headhunter, a placement agency, have somebody else who's doing the legwork for you so that you're not having to do it yourself. They're going to serve up candidates who are better qualified for the job. They're going to be able to help you weed through and spend less time in the whole recruiting as well. And I've had great success with headhunters and finding very qualified candidates for senior positions in companies. One of the other places that we all know is online posting. That's like things like Craigslist and Monster, and you probably do all of those places already. There's nothing wrong with those, particularly for more junior positions within a company. Nothing wrong with using those resources as a method for getting candidates and getting applications and resumes in. The one thing I would say, and if you've used them, you already know this, that you end up getting a lot of resumes from candidates who are not qualified for the job. They're either overqualified or they're underqualified, because a lot of times people just kind of mass respond to postings on Craigslist or Monster or other such online posting vehicles. If you're going to use online resources for recruiting, I recommend that you make sure to listen to the next training video that's all about screening potential candidates, because there's some techniques and strategies that you can use to make sure that you even weed people out before you start getting mass responses to those emails. The last of the 7 steps is using LinkedIn for management level positions. This can be very helpful if you're looking for, let's say, controllers or project managers or general managers or senior designers or people who are in senior management positions. Within LinkedIn, there are groups who specialize in those different areas of focus. In those groups, you have the ability to post open job postings. That's actually the way a lot of headhunters find candidates, is by using some of the recruiting features within LinkedIn. So you can do that, and you can do it at no cost to you. You just have to go into the group, become a member of the group, and then go and post up the job that you have in there. And using that information from that job description that you created, you can use some of that information to put right in there in the posting. Those are the 7 steps for where you can find great candidates. In summary, it's posted on your website so that it's there and available when somebody lands on your website or somebody gets directed there. Your employees have an employee referral program in place, and make it super easy for them and remind them often about open positions that you have. Give your employees a referral fee for when they refer candidates that you hire. And then you want to do outreach to your contacts. You want to tell everybody that you know and make it super easy for people when you send out and you ask people if they know other people. Make sure to give them the application and the position agreement and exactly how to apply for that job with you. Also, trade associations get involved in your trade associations and make those connections with people who are into your industry so that you can find more candidates who are closely related to the work that you do as well as the position that you're looking to fill. Schools and colleges are also a great way to find great candidates. It could be trade schools or colleges that have programs specifically in your area of interest. Headhunters have a large resource of potential candidates that they can usually serve up very quickly for you. It's a great way to fill a position more quickly sometimes than if you're doing the search on your own. And then LinkedIn for more senior level positions, great resource for being able to post jobs within groups of people who are specifically in those types of positions. I hope you enjoyed that video and found it helpful and found some key tools that will help you in your recruiting and hiring of new employees. And one of the things I want to share with you is I have created this outline that some of my clients have used for sending emails to people, asking them if they know of qualified candidates. And then I've also created this summary sheet that says, hey, here's a little bit about our company and the job that you could use as a template to tailor for anybody that you're going to do outreach to let them know about the openings available within your company. So I hope that you find that to be a good tool for you, and I wish you all the best in your hiring and recruiting efforts. My goal with these videos is to help you grow, thrive, and prosper in your business and in your life, and I hope that you found that this video helped you do just that.